This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business and politics that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Aparna Dave.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thank you for coming to the show. And she is an immigration lawyer. Tell me a little bit about your background before I start talking about the immigration reform, which is what your pet topic is these days. And it's a part of the political conversation these days as well. So tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, basically my background is, I was raised in India, from Calcutta, India. I moved to this country about 25 years ago. And when I came into this country, everybody was asking me, hey, why don't you get into computer science? Why don't you do science? And from the beginning, I'm not embarrassed to say, I was very weak in math and science. So I always wanted an alternative where I could get into a career where there would be a combination of something that I could do for the society and also enhance my knowledge moving into a new country. So that's why I opted to go into sociology undergraduation, which was very rare among Indians 25 years ago, and then took a path to go to law school.
Okay, so where did you graduate from?
I graduated from Boston University.
Oh, that's a good school. Well, thank you very much. What do you believe are the major flaws with the current immigration system is?
Well, that's a very good question, Mr. Islam. The major flaws in the current immigration system is that from years we are trying to come with one same slogan. We need to fix our borders. We need to prevent undocumented workers from coming into the United States. And this slogan has been going on for years and years and years. However, even as we stand today, the problem still exists. And as a result, we have about 11 million undocumented workers and children and families who are actually residing in the United States. And how do we fix this problem? So that's one problem. The second problem is, this is a twofold problem. One, to secure our borders, and how do we assist the undocumented people who are already currently in the United States? And the third full question is, as you know, America is a land of immigrants, and we have several people, skilled workers, who constantly come into this country. With the current immigration situation, there are people who are waiting for 10 years, 15 years in order to become permanent residents. How do we fix that problem? We know these people are never going to go back. These are good citizens, paying taxes, contributing to the society. How do we have a way in which these people can stay here and it could be a quick, smooth immigration process?
So you want to have a path forward. The fundamental flaw that I see at attorney, that our immigration system is currently too much engaged or too much involved in family unifications. Mm-hmm. Rather than what I consider trying to attract and retain a skilled workforce immigrants. Mm-hmm. So that's the one fundamental flaw. Mm-hmm. I also believe that we are not geared to attract and retain a skilled workforce. So rather than building the fences, we should try to build the bridges.
Absolutely.
To ensure that we can move America forward, and we should become globally competitive in the 21st century. So I want to talk a little bit about why do you believe that the immigration has become part of the political conversation these days? It wasn't there before. Why all of a sudden there is a change?
Well, as I told you right away, that we already have a problem. This problem existed for years, and it is time to fix it. As you know, during Clinton's presidency, before he before he left presidency, he did sign in the law where a lot of people could retain, people who were here illegally. They could apply for green cards and they could continue staying here. And that was years ago. Since then, nothing really has happened with immigration reform. I believe one reason is our economy. In the last 10 years, our economy is not doing well. So the focus is more on economy. But at the same time, when we are looking at economy, we do need to look at these workers. These are workers who are working in the United States, and we need revenues. If these people were allowed to become legalized, they will come forward, they will pay taxes, and this in turn will increase the revenues of our country. So I think this is, as I told you, it's a twofold question. Everything in US is connected. And believe me, this is a land of immigrants where we constantly have people who are coming in some form or the other, legal, illegal. Legal immigration also is becoming difficult in the sense, as you know, that all the consulates, there's been so much extensive background checks that people are now getting discouraged to come to the United States. Students are now, preferring to go to Europe for further education to Australia, and they don't want to come to the US because of so many issues that are related with getting a visa. Why are we going backward? I think we need to move a step forward. This is a land of immigrants, and we should be inviting all those people who are willing to work hard and contribute to our society.
Well, that is in fact a true statement, but I believe that the paradigm that had been shifted because of the re-election of President Obama, where the 79% Hispanic voted for that, and Hispanic is the largest immigrant workforce of the people in this country. Mm-hmm. They may not be what I consider the skilled workforce, but they are its workforce. So that's the reason the political conversation has pretty much changed. But tell me about the comprehensive immigration reform that the president is working on, the White House has initiated. Tell me what those reforms are, what exactly they intend to do. And do you think we have the political climate, now that we have a conversation, to pass this legislation?
Absolutely. The political climate is always existing, and I think we need to. The problem, immigration has always been a big debate in this country between the liberals and the conservatives, people who who are in favor of immigration, and then we also have a very strong resistance against immigration. President Obama has taken a step forward in this entire situation. One big thing is the DREAM Act. DREAM Act was something that was passed.
You're talking about the Durban and
this
Obama
is about,
and Durban?
No, this is about the Development of Relief and Education Act for Minor Aliens. Mm-hmm. So DREAM Act came about in 2001. It was introduced by Senator Hatch, 2001, and we are 2012. Where is the DREAM Act? Nothing has really happened. There are a lot of talks back and forth, but these are undocumented minor children who are in this country through no fault of their own, and today these kids cannot go to college. You know why? Because they don't have an immigration status. At least President Obama could not implement the DREAM Act, but he's taken a softer approach where he's come with deferred childhood arrivals, whereby kids who came to this country when they were younger, below the age of 16, now can apply for employment authorization and can apply for immigration papers, and the USCIS has promised, which is the Immigration Services, that these kids will not be deported because they are applying and coming out and applying for deferred childhood action. Now, this is not a path to get them a green card, but this is a path so these kids can continue education, they can go to college, and in addition, they can get work authorization so they can legally work in this country and contribute to the society. Now, that act has already been passed as of June 15, 2012 by President Obama, and immigration has already started accepting applications.
That was an executive order, but it was not a legislation.
It's not a legislation, but immigration at the same time has started accepting these applications as of August, which is a big step forward. At least these kids are guaranteed by the government that they will not be deported if they come forward, and we are then creating more college graduates, people who can go out in the workforce, get a work authorization, they can work and contribute to the society. What do we want? We want kids who are out there, who educate themselves, become proper citizens, rather than having kids who cannot study or cannot do anything with their life because they do not have legal status. So this is a great move forward by the Obama administration, and it should be commendable. Besides this, as you know, even at the inaugural, President Obama did say a very short sentence about immigration where he did mention that we do need to do something about the system. The four main points were about the immigration was, number one, secure borders. As everybody is reading about, that we do need to secure our borders so that we prevent illegals to come in. So that's one big thing. The second big topic that Obama was talking about was get a path to legalization, whereby highly skilled workers.
You're talking about the 11 million undocumented illegal
No, this is a different one. This is where people are already here. We need to bring in skilled workers, force the skilled workers to be here, and make the path to legalization easier. As you know, right now it's taking 10, 15 years for somebody to get a green card.
What about increasing the H-1 visas? Because a lot of companies, people like Microsoft and companies like that, they talk about the fact that do not have enough H-1 visas. Should we increase them?
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, see, let me put it this way.
And if so, how many and why?
The question how many is a debatable question because it's hard to judge how many such workers are needed. But I think there has been a constant fight that H-1B has been misused.
It has been.
It has been misused in the past.
Yes.
But with the government regulations, they've become very tight on how the H-1B visas need to be utilized. And that's a good regulation, whereby it keeps a tab on which employers are filing H-1s, what are the backgrounds of these individuals, where these people are working. I absolutely agree with the tight regulations. But along with the tight regulations, we need to capture those workers who are eligible, skilled, and there are businesses here. I myself work with business people who are looking for qualified immigrants to come in and assist them. And this is the way our economy grows further.
There has been a lot of conversation in the Congress and the administrations as well that we bring the students from all over the world, we educate them, they go to the finest institution in our country, and then we send them back. And then they compete against us. And a lot of students come from India and China because that has been a major source of the students in our country. I believe that China has the largest number of students in this country, and after that it is India. Do you subscribe to the theory that we should try to give them what I consider a green card as soon as they graduate from this college so that we can make it attractive to detain them and use their services and give them the citizenship? Do you subscribe to that message? If so, why?
Absolutely, I agree to that. Today
we also pay for their education and then we send them back. In some cases,
we cannot really say we pay for their education.
Well, we give them a scholarship. We give them a scholarship program.
But a lot of this money is coming from the industry, and these kids are actually working in order to be paid. They are contributing in some form to the society. They are either research assistants or interns for the professors who are funded by the industries in this country. So they are contributing to the society even while they are studying in this country. And yes, we do need to give them some way in which they can live here, and they can be citizens who are useful. Now today, this is a global world today. We cannot say this is US and this is Europe and this is Japan. We need to give enough access to people to come to the United States so that it also helps our economy to grow. I think this entire stand that we've taken that, against immigration, where people think that immigration creates more problems, immigration creates crimes, our economy is, shattered today because there are a lot of immigrants coming. I think we need to get out of that notion. This is a melting pot. Immigrants have contributed to our society to a great extent. And yes, if these people are going to give possible positive contributions to us, for example, a lot of these students belong to extremely rich families in India, China, or other countries. They have parents who are willing to invest in this country, to start businesses in this country. If that path was made easier for these kids, then they would bring money from outside into the United States and grow our economy also. So I think, yes, we do need to widen our horizons and make things easier rather than more and more difficult.
So do you subscribe to that message?
Yes, I do.
So what exactly would you do as an attorney to make sure that the political conversation we currently have, whether there's Democrat, Republicans, or Independent in the legislative branch of our government, to make sure they understand that it's important for our country, it's important for our country to be globally competitive in the 21st century, and we shouldn't be building the fences, but we shouldn't be building the bridges. What would you do as an attorney to talk to them? How would you start the conversation from your congressman? Now, your congressman happens to be a Democrat, so he's already on your side. So you need to go beyond that so that we can get the bipartisan support in the Congress. What would you do? What would you tell a Republican congressman, especially from a conservative state?
See, I think first we need to get our statistics and data right. I think we need to really study this immigration factor and see where people are having issues with immigration and why immigration is bad for our society. We need to have proper facts. We need to convince these people that immigration is not bringing our country down, but it will help our country to grow. So number one is those facts need to come out and proper statistics need to come out, how immigrants have assisted in the growth of this country. Secondly, it is important to secure our borders. I am not against that.
We have spent billions and billions of dollars.
But we need to secure our borders in a proper way.
Okay.
I think
What's
we need to
means?
come up with the program. Today with internet, with so much of security, we have access to so much information. We do need to keep the wrong people out, and that is doable today, and get the right people in. What is happening these days is that because of terrorism and all these issues, even the right people are not able to come in. If you are stuck in the consulate, it takes an administrative review for an H-1B worker or any worker who could be a productive member of a society. They're getting stuck at the consulate and it's taking them over a year. You know for what? Background and security checks. Should this take this long? I mean, in today's world. Why? Because there's a backlog at the Department of State. I think we need to expedite those systems so that we are not keeping the right people out. And this is a doable thing if we come up with the right border security system, if we come with a right system in which we can screen out applicants, get the good ones in, and keep the bad ones out.
Well, that's a good and noble cause. If someone in the audience would be interested in talking with you and trying to get your support in terms of immigrations and the paperwork, how would they contact you, Aparna?
Well, basically, you can definitely visit my website, which is Aparna Dave at immigrationtous.com. And my website has all my contact information, and I will be more than happy to assist any individual who has any questions regarding immigration, including business, family, religious, any of these issues that we can assist them with. Okay.
So, and so they can go to your website and contact you.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for coming to our show. Appreciated a good conversation with you, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
As you move forward.
Thank you very much for having me here. I appreciate it.
That is our show. This is Frank Islam wishing you a great week. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.